Hey guys, this is David B. Glass with the Global Life Podcast. I guess they like me so much that now I'm here hosting. Just want to introduce Gabriel Velazquez, a good long-term friend of mine. We're just going to get straight into it, okay? So Gabe, you rebuilt your life and your circle. What was the very first brick it took you to build that foundation?
I think that the very first brick that I had to lay down, which I actually didn't even really notice until it was already done, was kind of realizing that I need to figure myself out. And when I figured myself out, I realized that I basically lost a lot of me, and I had to kill that part of me to become the new version of myself.
Okay, do you want to get more in depth into what did you have to kill off?
Absolutely. So I had to kill all my old habits. I had to basically cut off all of my friends or the people that I so-called friends. I had to recreate myself and generate this whole new persona. And I know that sounds kind of like you're not being genuine to yourself, but it's very easy to lose yourself.
Trust me, we all been there, yeah.
It's very easy to lose yourself, and I feel like the person that you lose along the way is the one that's not genuine. So I had to basically realize who I actually was.
I like that.
Yeah.
Okay, now in one sentence, who are you today? Who compared to the past, like what's the difference? What makes you who you are today?
I'm just a humble guy, man.
Just a humble guy?
Just a humble guy.
Yeah, that guy's just a humble guy.
I'm just a humble guy.
And what makes you humble? What makes you different from how you were before? I need you to get into depth in this interview.
Okay. Well, what makes me different from before is I actually think about what affects absolutely everything around me, which makes me base my decisions off of what would, affect me for the benefits, obviously, right? I want everything to benefit me, but also benefit the people around me and make an impact to where it changes things along the way for the better. So everything I do, I move in purpose, basically.
Okay. Now, you're originally from Boston.
Yes.
Boston, Massachusetts, but then you moved to Kissimmee, Florida?
Kissimmee, Florida.
Okay, and then when did you leave from Boston to Kissimmee, Florida? What age were you more or less?
I was drugged down here when I was about 12.
Okay.
So I basically lived my whole adult life here in Florida. Obviously, I bounced around. I went back up to the city. I went to New York for a little bit. Okay. Then I went, I visited, Massachusetts a few times. I go, weeks at a time. Then I'll come back down to Florida. And basically business is kind of traveling a lot. So, a lot of my adult life was traveling to different cities. So I got to experience that. But definitely, I came down when I was 12, and now I'm 32, and I'm still living in Florida now.
So it's safe to say you're Floridian.
I'm a Floridian.
Now, do you rep more Boston or Florida?
Well, I love my Boston teams, but I love my Florida living, and I'll never trade that.
No, that's how I feel about it too, man. I probably would never go back up north for nothing. Personally, I would never move back up north.
Now, don't get me wrong. I just went up to Boston. And I love the city. I love seeing it. It's very ambitious. It's extremely fast. The environment, it kind of humbles you too. You remember where you came from, and it kind of makes you realize who why you are the way that you are.
Who you've grown to be.
Exactly.
Okay.
And now, I'm here in Florida, and this is the land of dreams here, man.
Yeah.
To me.
I be trying to tell people. I be trying to tell people that all the time.
And when you realize the architecture up there is so old, and the housing is so old. Mm-hmm. And then you come down here and you see this beautiful new construction. You're like, man, this is where I got to be.
I feel like it's just way too gloomy up north for me. Like,
oh, absolutely.
Yeah, like you go there. I know last time I went to New York, like literally, I get off the plane. Well, we're going to a city doing a regular normal tour stuff, and I just was like, yeah, like
I would never live in New York.
I would never. It's good for shopping though. Don't get me wrong.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Clothes and everything like that.
It's fun.
Now, one belief that you had from 22, now you're 32 years old. So, what's one belief that you had back then, and then did you live up to it, or is it something that you just changed within time?
Well,
you're a whole different person.
I'm a whole different person. That's a really good question. So I'm a whole different person. Mm-hmm. But one belief that I had at 20, or one way of living and belief that I had at 22 that I still have at 32, and I've actually got even better at it, would be grinding, man. I've been grinding since I was 22. and 32, I'm taking it to a whole nother level. You know, I'm definitely living it up. How I probably never thought I'd be where I am right now, but I mean, there's so much more to come, and I'm just excited for it.
Okay. Now, you change your circle. What boundary did you set that cost at? Like, what are the things that you had to put in place in order for you to change your environment, the people you hang around with?
I literally cut everything off. There was the boundary was that you never exist in my life anymore.
Yeah.
That was literally the boundary. And the reason being is because I cannot let any individuals around me affect my vision and my drive and to get to the end of the mission of where I need to get to. And keep in mind, you know, and you know this, also being an entrepreneur, and, you know, a man of purpose, you know, when you complete one mission, you're already on to the next.
Facts.
And sometimes we actually have multiple missions at the same time.
Yeah.
So I have no space. There is no gray area for somebody to come and try to even, you know, eliminate or even, you know, back me up on my plans.
I'm actually proud of you for that, because I know before you used to have people around you that maybe weren't the best people.
Oh, absolutely.
Trying to bring you down.
Absolutely.
And you made your way out of that. You separated yourself completely.
Energy is a real thing. Energy is an extremely real thing.
Okay. Now, when you felt alone between your old life and your new life, right? What kept you walking? What kept you, what gave you purpose, like you said, or what made you keep going and keep trying no matter what? Like, what kept you consistent? What kept you
discipline? Discipline is key. You know, when you're determined to do something and you're committed, you know, that's the first thing I look at, even when I you know, try to befriend anybody or even entertain the thought of having you around me. If I see that you're not a person of commitment and you can't commit to anything, or you don't, you know, even have the drive to stay on track, I mean, that's just, it tells me all that I need to know about you.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just committed. I have drive. I'm determined, and I literally have a vision, you know, and that's what keeps me going.
Okay. So the vision is
where I'm going.
All your ideas, you just want to bring them to life.
I'm a dreamer, and I make it happen.
I like that.
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to ask you, this one's a little personal. What habits have you replaced now, or that you had to let go?
Okay.
And the reason why I say that is because we all have habits, bad habits, good habits. We all have addictions, vices. That's the best way to put it. We all have vices. Nobody's perfect. You know, we all go through things. So what are some things that you had to let go, and what did you replace them with?
I partied a lot, and I drank a lot, and these were in my younger years, and it really affected how productive I was.
Okay.
And it also affected the potential that I had to become a greater version of myself, and also my moralities, you know, being moral and having integrity in the way that I carry myself. And once I stepped out of the element of looking at other people, right, and seeing how they act when they were on drugs and alcohol and partying and doing all kinds of stuff, I realized, I said, whoa, that can't be me. Is that how I look? Well, I don't know, because
that one impaired.
I was impaired, exactly. So, you know, when you take a step back and you look at other people and you have that kind of breakthrough in life, and you're like, whoa, is that me? Yeah. You know, you kind of get serious with yourself, and you're like, yeah, I got to let that go, you know? And that was my turning point in life.
I always tell people, I'm like, because we started pretty young. I remember being 15, being around all you guys, and doing stuff that a lot of the 21 to 27-year-olds were doing, going to clubs in Tampa and Miami, paying for sections so we didn't have to show the IDs. Like, you know, we had a lot of this crazy stuff. So
absolutely. I
feel like that's why maybe when we got older, 22, 23, and we started these businesses, started these companies, and started doing all that, like, we already been through all that. Yeah. So that's why when I be seeing people doing it at, like, in their late 20s, I'm kind of like, you lost in the sauce, buddy.
Correct.
Like, you're late. You could tell that you probably didn't have that growing up, and I'm blessed, you know what I mean? Like, thank God, you know, we went through all that stuff so that, you know,
and I mean, is that really what drives you? That's what excites you, is to be sitting around a whole bunch of guys, you know? Yeah. Kind of weird, you know?
Okay, so this one's about work. What problem does Omega Builder solve better than anybody else? What do you guys do different?
Oh no, absolutely. So what we do different is that we solve the problems that the people that are supposed to be solving the problems can't solve.
Yeah.
So basically, what I'm saying is that we're the cleanup crew.
Okay.
We literally eliminate every single problem that everybody else is supposed to.
So you fix
solve.
everybody's mistakes. You hear that, guys? They fix everybody's mistakes. They come in and clean house.
So basically, we leave the client extremely satisfied.
And sometimes 100%. You got to charge double when you do that because you fix everybody's mistakes.
Triple. If I come back and I got to touch somebody's work, I'm charging the price that they charge you, plus I'm charging double more.
Hey, I'm the same way. Trust me.
Hey, listen.
Me. I have had people do the same thing where they'll call us for a quote or something, and they get the job done. Then they call us right back the next week. Hey, can you come fix this? Yeah, I'm gonna charge you again and more.
Absolutely. So it's cheaper to get it done one time the right way.
The right way. Listen to that. The right way. Do it the right way the first time. Okay, this is a topic that I love talking about. Walking with Christ, a decision you made because of faith and not convenience.
Absolutely. Amen.
Okay.
So I made it out of faith, not convenience, because God is good all the time, whether it's good or bad. Mm-hmm. And I did that as a personal, decision, just because I experienced so many bad things, and I was without him. Okay. Without him, I was literally on the other side. Mm-hmm. I completely blocked him out, and I was just going down a really dark path. Mm-hmm. And when I found myself in the darkest place that you can ever imagine, in that hole, I literally that was my turning point, and that's when I had that encounter with Christ.
Yeah, I feel like that's when not everybody, but that's when you really dig deep, and that's when you ain't got nothing else to go towards, and you're like, all right, well, this is it. I don't have any more in me.
And don't get me wrong. I mean, I'm not perfect at all.
None of us are.
I'm a complete. I'm a sinner, man. But I try to.
And that's the point of it. As long as you keep trying and you keep trying.
By faith, I keep walking by faith, and I just keep on going.
Now, how do you choose between profit and principle?
Okay, so my favorite quote that everybody that I've been saying for so long is not all money is good money. You have to know what's good, what's bad. You're going to be doing business. Now, business is a inevitable way of turning into a shark. Everybody turns into a shark when you do business. Mm-hmm. If you don't, you're going to drown. That's just what it is. So basically, I mean, you have to be very stern. You have to be on point. You have to have a lot of discernment as well, which is why, serving God really helps me out with that as well. He gives you discernment. He knows when somebody's fake, when somebody's in front of you that's just trying to get over on you on a deal. But when something just smells and it just feels too good to be true, it's 99% of the time going to be too good to be true. Mm-hmm. It's never going to be just an easy buck. You know what I mean? And when you start realizing that $1 will cost you sometimes your life, mm-hmm. that's when you start realizing that your moralities, sometimes it's a lot more important, because when you become a slave to the money, mm-hmm. because you're chasing every single dollar, that's when it controls you. Mm-hmm. And if it controls you, you'll do unthinkable things just to get ahead.
And just to let you guys know, you don't want to idolize the money.
Absolutely not.
Once you start idolizing the money, you're looking at as if that's a god, and that's not the route that you want to go. Trust me, we've been there, we've done that. So
correct.
You don't want to do that. Chase purpose. Okay. Your daily rule of life.
My daily rule of life.
Like, what's something that you tell yourself every day consistently?
Every single day. I literally manifest things. I talk, when I wake up in the morning, the first thing I do is I start, I pray first thing in the morning. And then I literally start speaking to things into existence, and I
positive only.
I try to be as positive as I possibly can. And I just tell myself, man, you're going to kill it. Do what you got to do. Don't let nobody get in your way. Eliminate the enemy, and let's get it going. You know what I mean? Let's make some money.
There's a book that I actually read called The Four Agreements, and it actually talks about only speaking positive.
Absolutely.
You don't want to let things control you. You speak negative. Anything that comes out of your mouth is what's going to happen.
It's life or death. It's the sword. Listen,
let me
tell you something. It's scientifically proven. If you speak to a plant, positively, it'll grow a lot better. It'll flourish.
I'm gonna try that because I had a cactus for like 3 years, and that shit's not growing at all. That's just like still this big.
should talk to it.
Yeah, I'm gonna talk to the cactus. And speaking of books, what are 3 books that you would recommend for everybody to read?
The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People is a really good book because it starts. The great thing about a book is that it starts making you realize what you do wrong.
Yeah.
So when you start reading all these habits, right, of highly effective people, you're like, well, I don't even do this, and then you start kind of changing your life.
Yeah.
And when you start changing your life little by little, things start happening.
Yeah.
And it's usually never bad. If you're doing everything good, usually good starts to happen.
You learn a lot.
Correct. The Bible.
The Bible.
Which is full of nothing but wisdom.
That's the best book that you could possibly read.
Best book that you can ever have.
The New Testament.
Yep, New Testament and the Old Testament. You start seeing how the kings, fell, and you start seeing all that stuff.
And what did they? What's the thing that most men fall?
Yeah, women. We already know that.
Lust.
Yes, absolutely.
Lust.
I would say, I know this is cliche. I know this is cliche, but 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene, man.
I feel like the problem with that book though is if you're like a nice guy, it's a good book. If you're like a guy that, what I'm saying, like you're very like, you start off your life very simple and nice, it's a good book. But if you're because it teaches you to manipulate, what else does it teach you? That book is crazy.
It teaches you everything about power. And that's something that, the viewers, if they're interested, they can go ahead and they can check that out for themselves. But it's definitely a book that it can either make you or break you, man.
Be careful when you read the book. But
it's good to know. It's good to know because it literally teaches you on if you don't want to use it, at least you'll know when somebody's trying to use it.
There you go.
So
there you go. Because I read that book and halfway through it, I was like, damn, maybe I shouldn't have read this because I'm already using all this shit in my life anyway.
Right.
I'm already naturally in this book, so I'd be like, damn, like I'm a piece of shit. But anyway, when motivation dips, what's the next rep? What's the next thing that comes in line when the motivation's gone?
Like I said before, discipline.
Yeah.
Because discipline is a beautiful thing, and it's only for the strong.
Yeah.
Because discipline is you're gonna do it whether you want to or you're not. It's just like the gym. I
was just about to say
you're tired. You've been working for 16 hours. You get home. You get on the computer for 2. You're looking at the time. It's 11 o'clock. You're like, oh my God, I got to get up at 5. But I'm still gonna go, and I'm still gonna go even for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Just jump on the treadmill, take a walk. But that's discipline.
Yeah.
And it's the exact same thing when it comes to life. Everything that you do comes with discipline. You wake up in the morning, you make your bed. You wake up in the morning, you're tired, but you're still going to go out there and you're going to face all of the issues that, that were still there yesterday. And we're going to fix them, and that takes discipline.
Okay.
A lot of people love to run.
Yeah. I'm not going to lie. I actually been doing a lot of cardio recently.
Yeah.
Whether it's just running out here, running to the gym, it makes a big difference. You get a lot of stress relieved. So now your biggest challenge is, I guess something we all struggle with is being satisfied. So how do you stay content?
So I want to reiterate that I'm sat. So I'm always happy. I'm happy with what I have.
Yeah.
I'm happy with life, whether it's good or it's bad. I've gone all the way down to the bottom. I built my way up to the top, then I've got torn down again, build myself up. It's not about that. I'm happy.
It's part of the process.
I'm happy with whatever I have.
Yeah.
What I mean by I'm never satisfied is that I'm always on to the next biggest thing. Mm-hmm. So, everything, and when it comes to business, when it comes to life, whatever it is, you're going to get to a certain plateau, right? Where it's going to start plateauing. And you have to be innovative and you have to figure out a way to go to the next, the next era of your life.
Yeah.
The next breaking point and keep on breaking those barriers, to get all the way to the end.
Yeah. Now, what does Sabbath or rest look like for somebody like you? For a builder who likes to grind every day, who likes to get his hands in the nitty gritty, who likes to be a part of it, but at the same time, you have to manage all these other people that work for you. Like, where does the rest come in that sense? Like, what?
So the way that I look at it is when it's the Sabbath for me, I try to. Well, first of all, I take the Sabbath on Saturday. I usually rest all day or go to church. But on the day that I can't rest, like sometimes I do have to go out on an emergency call these things happen when you are a business owner, man. Like I said, you're a firefighter. You're putting out fires everywhere. You know, these things are inevitable.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have to go. You know, and I try to always keep that relationship, you know, with God. You know, even on the Sabbath, or even when it just comes to my rest, I try to prioritize that. Even if I don't know about 8 hours. I never usually get 8 hours, but
I wish.
But I'll try to at least get minimum 5. You know, at least 5, sometimes 4.5, 4. You know, but that's always like my goal.
And what does your day consist of when you do rest? Like, what do you do on your free time?
Oh, my free time, I read, I work out, you know, I clean the house, you know, as much as I can, just because I love, you know, to have a clean environment around me. I, you know, tend to the dogs, of course. I have 2 dogs. I love them, and make sure that they're happy. And, you know, I just try to better myself, strategize, coordinate, you know, what my day's going to look like or my week's going to look like, have everything set up for the guys. And, and then just, like I said, always working on the next big thing. So, you know, I'm always trying to, you know, innovate.
Okay. Okay. A 19-year-old you, would you hire him or would you teach him first? Be honest. You at 19 years old, would you have hired him? What
would I teach? No, I'd hire anybody, man. I mean, I don't discriminate anybody at all, you know, and the person that you think that's going to be the least effective person is sometimes surprisingly the best person that, you know, you could have gave the possibility to.
Hell no.
I've had good experiences,
man.
And so, yeah, I know.
I'm not hiring everybody, bro.
No, not everybody. I mean, come on, have discernment on it too, though. You can't just go and just hire, you know, the guy that's just, you can tell that he's not mentally stable. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like, if he seems like a humble person and he needs a job and whatnot, and you feel like he can potentially be, you know, an asset to your company, I'd hire him.
Yeah. And
the first thing that I would teach him, I mean, you know, he's 19, so, you know, he's probably going to have a hard head on him. But,
yeah,
you know, if I teach him anything, I'd say that, you know, the long runs are always the most rewarding. So you have to be committed to something. And even if it's not with this company, figure out what you want to do in your life and just take it all the way there.
To add to that, one thing I will say is fast money, crash dummy, slow money, for show money.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I've seen so many people get rich and come up here and then go,
oh, man.
Like so many people. Like it's not one or two. I've seen probably like 7, 8 millionaires go from being on top of the world to on the bottom. Like,
I mean, I see it all the time. Companies go bankrupt every day.
Every day. Like it's insane. And it's something very normal and it shouldn't be normal.
And these are staple companies.
Yeah.
Like these are like companies that have been around forever. And I see those the stores getting shut down, and I'm like, if they get shut down,
Toys R Us, Chuck E. Cheese,
if they get shut down, imagine somebody, you know, in a smaller business.
Exactly.
Yeah, you know, it's inevitable, man. It can happen. If you're irresponsible, or if you make the wrong decisions, or if you get too arrogant, that's just what it is.
And I was having a conversation today actually with somebody, and I was saying that like it's crazy how like you could have all this money, you could have all the money in the world, but you're not gonna be happy at the end of the day.
No.
And it's like, money is to make things easier for you, or
money is a tool.
It's a tool. You took the words out of my mouth.
Just makes your life easier.
That's all it is.
Money. I've been at the top, you know, and I've also been at the bottom.
Yeah.
And both of them sucked. It's just, you know, it's none of them made me. I was depressed at both.
Yeah.
You know, in both scenarios. But I've also been happy in both. You know. But what I mean by that is that it just makes your life easier.
Yeah.
Just knowing that you can pay your bills and pay all your toys and all the stuff that you got, and making sure that you can help people out, it feels amazing. You know?
Do you think being in the middle, as far as you've been on both ends, right? So you understand what it feels like to be on top and the bottom. Mm-hmm. So do you feel like that's something that made you kind of like get you closer to God? Because the reason why I asked that question is because I know a lot of people that they're just on the up for so long, so they don't see anything else. They block everything out. They're like, oh, my bills are paid. I'm good. I'm going out to the club every weekend. I'm having sex with all the hottest chicks. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. So do you feel like you being in the middle? Because I'm gonna be honest, bro. That's how I felt. So that's why I'm asking you that question.
Well, it's a good question, but I feel like it's also the way that you were raised and the way that like what your priorities are in life, you know? Like
Okay.
I've always kind of been like an old soul, you know?
Okay.
So like, yes, I started super young, and I feel like that's why I started super young.
You're
Because
millennial, right?
yeah.
We're
So
millennials.
like,
Makes
you know,
sense.
I started, you know, with, like you said, what everybody in their 21 to 30 were doing. I mean, I was doing that at like 10, 12 years old, you know?
Jeez.
So like to me,
You're making me feel late now.
yeah. So to me, it's like, you know, once you realize like what life is really about, you know, when your maturity starts to hit, I think that you really start realizing that not, you know, money and the girls and the cars and
Shit gets old.
It gets super old, man, and it's all materialistic shit. And at the end of the day, when all that stuff goes out,
Yeah.
nobody's by your side anyway.
Hell no.
It's
You alone. It's a lonely world.
yeah,
I feel you.
it's lonely, man, and you got to be comfortable. And I became comfortable with being lonely. I'm okay
Yeah.
with that, you know. And that's when I found the best version of myself.
Yeah.
And then that's when I realized that at the end of the day, the only person that you really have is God.
Yeah.
You know, because when you die, you're gonna die by yourself, ain't you?
I completely understand where you're coming from because I feel the same way. Like it gets to the point like I had said on a podcast once. So I remember like feeling like I had everything in the world, and then going to my house and it was pitch black, it was dark, and that's when everything hit me. It was like 12 o'clock at night, and I was just like, damn, like I feel empty inside. So like I get where you're coming from when you say that. Now, one of the last questions: if legacy is a blueprint, what rooms must be in your plan? Whether it's family, faith, mentorship, service, like
All of it. Yes, I want to have a family. I definitely want to have a family. I want to have a few kids.
yeah,
That's in the plans. Obviously, you're not doing all this for yourself. I mean, what else would I be doing it to leave?
you got to leave a legacy.
You got to leave a legacy, man. So, also, you know, mentorship. I mentor a lot of people right now. You know, I'm always giving the jewels and the gems.
You were one of the first people to actually give me advice
Yeah,
on.
exactly.
I remember he literally told me, he was like, I'm gonna give you the best advice possible. I'm starting a business. If you don't know the answer to something, Google it. And I know it sounds dumb, but I remember you told me that. Like I was
Very simple, but very effective.
I was sitting in your brother's office. I literally remember doing my LLC and you told me that. And I was like, man, I passed that on to everybody. I'm like, bro, I'm not trying to sound like an asshole. Google it. Like, so that's some good advice right there.
Yeah. It's simple but effective.
Super effective.
Yeah. So, but I definitely want to mentor more people as I go. I'm definitely like really focused right now, so I'm not trying to mentor anybody right now. But you know,
You got a lot on your plate.
Yeah, I got a lot on my plate.
It'd be like that.
I got a couple other things cooking, so you know, I'm trying to make sure that I get that out there and establish those things, and then you know, then later down the line, if I have time for it, then I definitely will. I love helping people out, so I think that's one of my biggest downfalls as well.
Yeah,
is helping people out, but you know, it's a blessing.
It's all right.
It's
though,
a blessing.
You're blessed. At the end of the day, when you do all these things for people, bro, it comes back tenfold.
Exactly. It's a blessing in disguise. So,
go ahead. Sorry.
No, so that's just in the plans.
Well, perfect. Just want to say thank you, my brother, for everything. It was a great interview.
Absolutely.
Just make sure you guys check the Global Life Podcast. You have to check in, and also make sure you get a coffee. You gotta put the subscription for the coffees. You gotta get us a coffee. So,
well, I appreciate you guys having me on Global Life Podcast.
Sure,
it's definitely not going to be the last time.
No. Come back. We'll have one of the girls interview.
Okay. Cool.
They're really good. So, thank you, man. I appreciate you again.
Absolutely.
Gotta get it right now. Yeah, push over limits with you right now.